Hello, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody doing? This is Attorney Claudine Gasana. I am here today to talk briefly about the new Florida immigration law bill or law now that's being signed into law by the Governor DeSantis. And what is it? How will that affect migrants, immigrants who are in Florida, and employers, U.S. employers? What are the penalties that will be imposed to employers who employ undocumented people? And what are the requirements in terms of hiring and reporting? So let's dive into, almost always prepare a PowerPoint presentation. So let me share with you. So we're gonna read through together because this is a new law, and it's going to take effect on July 1st, 2023. So yeah, let's go. And I'm sure you've heard in the news, um, people are really not happy about it because they have been protesting the new law that's gonna be implemented starting uh, July 1st. All right, so what time okay, let's go. Now, I want to do, okay, actually this is not what I wanted to share. Sorry about that. Let me go share. Show this story somewhere. There we go. This is the one I wanted to share. Okay, I hope you guys are having a good day, good afternoon, good evening where you are. All right, so let's dive into it. The Florida new immigration bill, the overview. So it's going to be becoming law soon, July 1st. By the time maybe you come to this video, you have already become law. So we don't know it's going to be challenged. I hope it will, because immigration law is a federal law. So whenever a state enacts some type of law, has to abide with the federal law, with all other rights that come with the federal matters. Okay. So the Florida Senate bill, that's the number, it's going to take effect on July 1st, 2023. And it will, here's what the main highlights of this bill. So this bill, though this law in Florida will impose e-verify requirements. So you may wonder, what is e-verify? So the e-verify is a system set up by the federal government, which usually requires employers who have contract with the federal government to complete e-verify. Or some big companies do uh, do, um, do use this system. For example, if you are a student on F1 visa and you want OptiSTEM extension, you have to work with a company that uses e-verify. So it's not like mandatory anyway for all employers, especially for small businesses. It's not a requirement. So now Florida is making it a requirement to private employers with 25 or more employees that are making new hires to use e-verify. So it's a federal online database that employers use to confirm whether someone is eligible to work in the United States. So the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity will be responsible for enforcing this e-verify requirement. Usually ICE, the U.S. Homeland Security Agency called Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is responsible for enforcing this e-verify. But now it seems the Department of Economic Opportunity in Florida will be the one enforcing the e-verify for Florida. So that's why I said in the beginning, this is likely to, raise issues that may go into court and end up in the US Supreme Court. So we'll see. So the employers who fail to use E-Verify will be fined $1,000 a day. And we suspend licenses for any employer who knowingly employs illegal aliens. They don't call them aliens anymore, they call them non-citizens. For workers, it will be a felony to use a false ID to get a job. So this will not only affect undocumented individuals, uh, but also US employers, most likely small businesses, even with 25 employees or less. And it's a lot of paperwork that's going to be required to fill out. It's very, some companies, some big companies hire immigration attorneys to go over the E-Verify, like, audit to make sure everything is complied with. It's a form I-9, that's what you complete, okay? So now it's going to redefine human smuggling. So under the new law, a person who transports into Florida someone they know or should have known. So they should have known is the tricky one, that it's an immigrant who has not been inspected by authorities could be charged with a felony for human smuggling. A person who's found transporting fewer than 5 immigrants on their first offense could be charged with third-degree felony. They can be sentenced up to 5 years in prison, and they pay a fine of $5,000 per count. So, and then there's so then this new law is going to provide apparently $12 million to continue this unauthorized alien transportation program to relocate illegal. So they will be hunting people down to locate illegal immigrants to sanctuary jurisdiction. So, or to transport them. So there will be actually, no, this will, how Texas has been sending people to New York. So the Florida is funding a program that will do that. So $12 million, that's a lot of money. So people are actually protesting, saying this money, these funds, these resources should be put into matters that really affect people from Florida, housing, taking child care and all that stuff. But hey, this seems to be a priority to them, which will, again, may infringe on so many constitutional rights and separation of power between the federal and the state. So, right. So then this law will ban local governments and NGO from issuing identification documents to illegal aliens and invalid or out-of-state driver's license issued exclusively to illegal aliens. So this, again, it has so many red flags for discrimination, because if you say they will invalidate out-of-state driver's licenses issued exclusively to illegal immigrants, that is very, yeah, so this is going to be a mess, but we find out to see, and I hope this is stopped because it could infringe so many rights. And this is going to, it's going to ask healthcare facilities to collect and report healthcare costs for illegal aliens. So I'm not even going to tell you about HIPAA and the privacy laws that are supposed to be followed when somebody by hospitals. So yeah, I don't think this law is gonna last, but we'll see. So, and it's talk about, so we also talk about the economic impact and yeah. So because actually when this law was introduced in the Senate or was talked about in the news, already some workers were afraid to go to work. So which means that the product that, some labor intensive industries will stand to lose a significant amount of workforce. They say 10%. This is the Florida Policy Institute, which is a nonprofit policy research, that 10% of their workforce will be gone. It could lead to a drop of $12 million in Florida GDP in single year, about 1%. So, and there will also, of course, be a social impact, because the same institute, the Florida Policy Institute, estimates that there will be 130,000 US citizens in Florida who are married. They are, to undocumented immigrants. That's going to really cause some anguish and instability in the families, because if somebody is picked up and they are shipped to another state, and you don't, your family members who are US born, spouses or children, they'll be left alone. So this is really going to impact, to make more harm than good, and maybe solve a problem that was not there. Or that it may be just a shortcut, or it could be a publicity stunt because of political reasons. Obviously, the governor is running for president. He needs something to show he's tough on immigration, and he's using the power given by, being elected. I don't know, maybe he's directing in the wrong way. The bill is not. I think he has so many red flags when it comes to, like I said, the federal aspect of immigration enforcement is not a state law. It's a federal obligation. The social impact, the economic impact, the potential constitutional rights that are being to be infringed upon. So it's to be determined, but be aware, if you know anybody who lives in Florida, and let them know there's a new law coming that's going after those who are undocumented, who are working, even could destabilize the families if they have anyone there who's undocumented. They may one day find they have been shipped to a what they call sanctuary jurisdiction, and obviously the U.S. employers, small businesses will be required to do that paperwork, the I-9, and they may lose potential employees, and the production will diminish, like we just saw. So yeah, that's what I had to say today, to let you know that's going on. That's a new law in Florida, immigration law, that usually supposed to be a federal law, but hey, the governor has taken to his power to enforce immigration law. So we will see. You have a great afternoon. Have a great day. Bye.